Hi, it's Deaney. We are making a massive 2-foot or 24-inch organza rose in this tutorial, a larger version of the one from a few weeks ago. I actually made these for a wedding last July. I filmed this while finishing the actual flowers, so it is as real and unfiltered as it gets. Let's jump right in. For all of our templates that can be cut in letter size paper, it will be divided into 3 like this. So templates 1 to 4, number 4, it's almost like 16 by 16. We also provided a file if you have a paper, let's say 20 by 30, and you have a large cutting machine like a Quick Adventure, then you can definitely cut that whole thing so you don't have to attach them like this, but attaching them is easy. I provided like this cut which tells you that this is template 4 or like petal 4, and this, so you position them in between the slot. And what I would do, I would attach the half first. And we are going to place it on top like this. There you go. So just do the same procedure for the rest of the petals or templates. When you are done with all 4 templates, let's jump into the tutorial. Step number 2, cut the organza fabric. For petal 1, we need 10 pieces in total. Alright, first step, we are going to cut or trace the pattern to our organza. So let us start first with our template 1. The width of my fabric is 60 inches and I can fit 5 petal ones in there. Alright, I think that's a good division. Next, our friends for organza flowers, pins, ball pins. That should keep it in place. We are going to trace them. I use a white pen, white jelly pen. I don't have the specialized fabric markers. Whatever works for you, this one works for me. So yes, let's do this. Once you have traced your pattern, so you know, you can adjust or add pins to like secure it, because the next step would be cutting them. So this is petal 1. So there. Now I suggest doing this procedure, cutting your petals for the rest of the templates. Now let's go to petal 2. We need 4 pieces in total. For petal 2, I believe we can fit at least 4 pieces. Yes, indeed. You can also trace first, so you don't have any pins underneath the template. That might be easier. Then do the same procedure. Add the pins, trace, and cut the fabric. For petal 3, we need 5 pieces. For petals 3 and 4, these are the bigger petal sizes. If you have a 60-inch wide fabric like me, it won't fit like upright. So what I usually do is I angle the template like this. That's the technique that I usually do. Same thing, do the same procedure of tracing, adding the pins, and cutting the fabric. For petal 4, we need 5 pieces in total. This one is gymongous, like huge. We are going to do the same, technique that we did for template 3. Uh-oh, I sat on the on the template. I'm so sorry. It was straight, but I sat on it. Sorry. Just adjust. And this time I'm going to use the pencil. So you can also use a pencil. Do the same procedure of tracing, adding the pins, and cutting the fabric. Next step, we are going to attach the wires. So let's start with petal 1. For petal 1, we have 8 pieces. And except for one, we are going to add 3 wires. For 1 piece out of that 8, we are just going to add 1. So this will be like the starting bud. I highly recommend having a silicone mat when you're doing an organza flower because for me, I use hot glue. You can also hot glue. So I do recommend something with a precision tip. So that really helps. With the silicone mat, the hot glue doesn't stick. So you can easily remove it. So for 1 piece of the petal 1, so we are just going to add 1 wire. See how easily you can pick it up, it doesn't stick. So that's why if you do organza flowers and you plan to use hot glue, I highly suggest having a silicone mat. Yep, that's it. 1 done. Many more to go. So for the rest of the petals, I suggest adding 3 wires. So it will go like this. And it's important to leave the wire like really close to the edge. Not all the way, but just close. Because that helps kind of bend like the tip of the petals. But this part we are going to speed up because this is quite boring. Okay, let's go. Now let's prep our petal 2. Alright, for petal 2, we are going to add 5 wires. I do add glue to the other side of the wire to secure it. And then just cut this part. You don't need the excess wire, honestly. Now let's do petal 3. Same. So we will add 5 wires. My wire doesn't reach, like close here, and that's okay. There. So this is petal 3. Let us do the last one. So for the last one, this is long. My wire is just like 14.5. This is like 16. So what I'm gonna do, what I usually do is I just extend this. It's really not gonna be visible, so it's not really, gonna be a problem and stuff. I do add like support over here just because it's so like big. So I usually fold this in half or bend it in half and split it open like that and then add it here. You also have the option of just like adding it like here, so you have a longer, you know, support. But to save on wire, I just do this. That's how we add wires to the petals. I forgot to add glue to the other side. So this is how petal 4 looks like. So pause this video and do the same procedure for the rest of your petals, and I'll see you in the next step. Okay, the next step would be burning up or heating up the edges to avoid frayings. And we are also going to heat up like the top edges to make it curl down. So I'm just going to show you. It's kind of hard to describe it. Okay, so petals 1, 2 pieces, we are just going to heat up the edges to avoid fraying. So you have two options. You can just use a lighter, heat up the edges, but I just hate it, most especially with mine. It's like you need to push it down. So I use a candle to, you know, retain the light or the fire. First 2 pieces or petals of petal 1, we're just going to burn up the edge. And organza is very, very thin, so be careful. We are just going to quickly like pass it over the heat or the fire. That's what I mean. You see how it like turned down or like face down? So that's what we're wanting to achieve. We're going to do this. Let's do it again. You see? So that's the look that we are wanting to achieve. One more demo. Okay, do the same for all petal 1s and petal 2s. For petals 3s and 4s, you just have the option of just like passing the edges over to the fire so it won't fray. But it's up to you if you want to do like the same technique that we did for petal 1. Do the same for the rest of petal 3s. Once you are done, let's proceed to the next step. One of the essential materials for the paper rose, even with the previous version of the, sorry, not paper rose, organza rose that we made, we started with a styrofoam wall. This holds up the bud, so that's why for this one, we are still going to use one. For this larger version, I am gonna use almost 6 inches, 5.6. I will poke a bamboo skewer in the center, somewhere, you know, central. This will help you hold the ball while we are putting the petals. So most especially for the colored ones, so I'm gonna use white, so you have the option of not wrapping this up with organza, but for the purpose of showing the process, we are going to wrap this with organza, so you are sure that, you know, the petals will hold up. And also, again, if you're using a different color of organza, the ball will blend in. So just cut. I think this is the easiest way actually. But we need to make sure that, you know, the organza is attached. So we're just going to put like hot glue here and there to make sure that the organza is attached. And grab a floral tape. Also, put glue to where the skewer is. Let's shorten this here. I have cut off like 4 inch from the stick, and let's cut. Okay, let's start. Actually, the first petal that we're going to start with really is the one with only one wire. So it will look like this. This will be like the starting bud. You can put it anywhere, honestly. So we're just going to attach the bottom part. And what's gonna happen, it's gonna be like this. This will be like, again, the starting bud. So you can go ahead and attach the sides. And we are going to close this part. Yes, this is our bud. Alright, next one. We are going to close it like this. You can close it really tight, but I do prefer like having a bit of an allowance. Like the blooming portion of the rose starts from here. But the first thing that you can do is attach first. So bend it a bit like this. Let's attach it here. So it's like we started like this way, right? This way, this way. We are going to add the next one here, like on its sides. On its sides here. And we're going to open it up like this. Okay, let's add one more. So just do like one across the previous one. So it's gonna be like this. And let's start pushing it out. We are already on our second layer, so first and then second. So we are going to do the third layer of petal twos. It's like 1, 2 first layer, 2 the second layer. For the third layer, we're also gonna do 2 layers. It will be similar. We are just going to place it like, you know, we're more open right now. Again, the target here is for it to look like blossoms. And we're going to put it on the side like this. You know, I think what will work here is the silicone thumb cover or like finger cover that you can get from the Dollar Tree. I haven't tried that yet, but I like imagine, you know, having that. I think it will work easily. Let's add some glue. And we are just going to like pinch it up like this. Okay, so let's cover the side across it. So layer 3, now we're on our layer 4. So this will be more open now. So let's secure the bottom first. And this will be our last petal tool. Last layer. So for this one, this is like the last layer. I added like an additional wire. So it's similar to petals 2, 3, and 4. Now it's time for petal 2. They're almost the same, this is just wider. I mean, petal 1 and petal 2 almost the same, this is just wider, and we're only going to use 4 pieces. So with this one, you do have the option to put it like where we usually put it after, like here, which is like straight, or you do have the option to put this here in between. The first one that we did is straight. This is like straight. So this is like all the layer 1s, and then this is the layer 2. So it's straight. Since this is a pair, so I am going to do like straight also. But for now, we are going to make it straight. So this is the part where you kind of start leaning it like at an angle, so it looks blossoming. Now the pair, just add it like here. You see now how it like blossoms up. And then the next two. And then last. Next will be petal 3. So this is slightly bigger. Now let us start with petal 3. We have 5 pieces. I usually eyeball where to place the other petals at this time. We put the last layer of petal 3 on top of the previous petal and over the petal next to it. Add glue as much as you need. Now our last layer, petal 4, we also need 5 pieces. For this layer, we are going to place the petals of petal 4 in between the petals of petal 3 or the previous petals. Then same as petal 3, put the last layer of petal 4 on top of the previous petal and over the petal next to it. Feel free to add more glue and adjust the petals to your liking. Now let us add a coupling to the bottom. I am using a 3/4 size because my stem is also 3/4 PVC pipe. Let's cover the coupling with green cardstock. Oops, I forgot to cut the stick. And we are done. We are finally done with our 24-inch Giant Organza Rose. Comment your questions away if you have any. We have more templates available at twblooms.com, so check it out. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Till the next video, bye!